Good morning. Back again. It's Pete, Blair, aka the Mad Scientist. Yesterday I made up this pyrography pen from an old piece of plastic conduit. My pens all have an RCA plug on them, so I just made it to work with my system. But of course this could just be two wires plugged into whatever. I had a couple pieces of brass that I was able to drill and tap so that it will take the whatever tips you're using. This happens to be a 22 gauge. I haven't tried this yet. I just made it yesterday, so I thought I'd just try it today. Currently I have it connected to that 15 DC 1.4 amp brick that I was using the other day when I did a demo. Let's plug it in and see what happens. So I haven't tested it before. I don't know if it's gonna work or not work or whatever. So I just connected that wire. So I don't know what's happening now. I'm getting some interference from something, and it isn't working at all. Cranked all the way up. It isn't working. I don't know. I don't even know if my connections in here are still good. Turn that off. Disconnect everything. I'm going to connect it to a burner now. Fine with most of them, so let's see if what happens if I turn it on here now. It is a little heavy. I got to admit it's a little heavy, but it works fine. Now, what I was thinking is if someone wanted to try and do this at home, they could easily try this. All they'd need is two flat pieces of metal. You could put a little nut and a bolt through it. You could put maybe tap and die it, or one of the self-threading screws in to hold the wire underneath it. So this is the smaller 22 gauge wire. If I change that to the heavier 20, let's see how good that'll work. So here's the bigger brother to that one. It's a spoon shading, or a spoon bit, used for shading most frequently by people. This is again a homemade one. So let's see if it has the power to run this one. I'm confident that it will have. Okay, so once again, that's what my spoon shader looks like. And you see it there, the shape of it. It's filed nice and flat, has sharp edges on so you can draw a fine line. So we'll turn it on and see if it gets hot. And I can see it smoking. So if I crank it all the way up, it takes a lot more to get it hot. But as you can see, this pen works just fine.